I am Dr. James. I have accompanied thousands of elderly individuals on their health journeys to date. But after years of working with elderly patients, I must tell you this striking truth. Unfortunately, everything they tell you about seeds for the elderly is not true. For years, they told me seeds are healthy, a miracle of nature, a source of fiber, vitamins, and minerals. Yes, that may be true, but I'm sorry, only to a certain extent. My research on seeds to avoid after age 60 deeply shocked me. Studies published in the Journal of Gerontology show that some seeds dramatically increase inflammatory markers in older adults by 67% in just 3 weeks. The truth is, some seeds are far from healthy, especially for people over 60. In fact, some of them accelerate the aging process. I was shocked when I first heard this. Do you feel the same way? If your answer is yes, keep watching. Because what you're about to learn will completely change your life and consequently, your diet. So why am I saying this? Because recent studies on nutrition for older adults have revealed that certain seeds can impair vascular health, increase joint pain, and even silently raise the risk of heart attack. Inflammatory seeds, specifically, pose a serious threat to older adults. And the unfortunate part is that we all consume these seeds thinking they are healthy. However, the reality is unfortunately not so. Despite this, they are still sold on supermarket shelves with a heart-healthy label. I am truly saddened by this. To avoid being fooled by such labels, the most important thing is to watch this video to the end for the sake of your own health. Today in this video, I'll talk about the dangerous seeds you should never eat and the healthy seeds that will change your life and allow you to eat with peace of mind. You won't believe the third seed on the list. After learning this information, I recommend checking your kitchen immediately. Before we begin, I have 2 questions. Which seeds do you consume daily? And have you noticed bloating, joint pain, or skin problems after eating them? Write your answers in the comments, because I read every response and provide personalized advice. Remember, you are not alone on this journey, and we can protect your health together. Now let's move on to the list of seeds that accelerate aging and are extremely dangerous for individuals over 60. Sunflower seeds are 4th on the list. Most people consider these small kernels harmless. They are marketed as a healthy snack in every grocery store. We sprinkle them on salads, add them to granola, and praise them as a source of vitamin E. But what if every handful you sprinkle is silently igniting a fire in your joints? Yes, it's true. Sunflower seeds are an invitation for inflammation. Why? Because these seeds are loaded with omega-6 fatty acids. These seeds are a real-time bomb in the elderly diet. Omega-6 fatty acids are certainly necessary, but the problem is how much we consume. A striking study published in the journal Nutrition and Aging in 2022 states that the ideal omega-6 to omega-3 ratio should be 4:1. In other words, for every 4 units of omega-6, we should consume 1 unit of omega-3. So how does it work in real life? In modern diets, the ratio is as high as 15:1 or even 20:1. This means we consume too much omega-6 vegetable oils and packaged foods, and too little omega-3 fish, flaxseed, and walnuts. I will show you the ideal ratio you should consume and examples of modern diets you should avoid. Please review the table. As shown in the table, this imbalance increases inflammation and raises the risk of heart disease, diabetes, and even dementia. So what is this ratio in sunflower seeds? Exactly 18:1. Yes, in elderly people who eat sunflower seeds every day. This ratio means 18 units of omega-6 for every 1 unit of omega-3. Unfortunately, this unhealthy diet can silently sabotage your health by causing joint pain, hardening of the arteries, and even heart disease by stiffening the artery walls. The story of Mary, one of my clients, is the most vivid example of this. She was 72 years old, paid attention to healthy eating, and walked every day. But there was a problem. She was constantly tired and her ankles were swollen. Her test results showed inflammation markers 3 times higher than the safe limit. The reason? She was adding handfuls of her beloved sunflower seeds to her salads and granola. While Mary thought she was eating healthily, she was actually harming herself. We completely removed sunflower seeds from Mary's diet and replaced them with anti-inflammatory seeds, chia seeds and flax seeds. You won't believe it, but the swelling went down in 10 days. Within 3 weeks, her energy returned, and her walking time increased from 15 minutes to 50 minutes. One single change transformed her life. You too can leave sunflower seeds behind today and add seeds that reduce inflammation instead. That way, you can experience the same effect. I would like to share 5 practical tips for achieving a balance between omega-6 and omega-3. For example, reduce vegetable oils, opt for olive oil. Eat fatty fish, salmon, sardines, mackerel 2 to 3 times a week. Add walnuts and flaxseed to your diet every day. Stay away from processed foods. They are omega-6 bombs. Supplement with fish oil if necessary. I know it will be difficult at first, but if you pay attention to these details in your daily life, you can be sure you will have a healthier old age. Third, sesame seeds. Surprised? They're in hamburger buns, tahini, Asian-style dishes. They're even an essential ingredient in healthy crackers. But there's a hidden side to this. Sesame seeds contain powerful plant compounds that can trigger allergic reactions in older individuals, overwork the immune system, and even lead to mineral deficiencies. While you may think you are eating for your health, you may actually be secretly burdening your immune system. As we age, our digestive system becomes more sensitive and clears substances that trigger inflammation more slowly. This is where a major danger comes into play: phytic acid. Sesame seeds are very rich in phytates. Phytates bind to minerals critical for older adults, such as calcium, magnesium, and zinc, preventing their absorption. This may not be a major issue in a young intestine, but unfortunately, the picture changes for those over 60. Now ask yourself, do you eat foods containing tahini, hummus, or sesame seeds every day? Share your thoughts in the comments. A study published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition in 2020 found that diets high in phytate reduced calcium absorption by 27% in older adults and increased the risk of bone fractures. Shouldn't someone battling osteoporosis know this? But more importantly, sesame allergies are now a serious public health issue. In 2023, the U.S. Food and Drug Administration recognized sesame as the 9th most common allergen. Most individuals over the age of 60 experience vague symptoms such as chronic sinus congestion, skin blemishes, and fatigue. Do you have any of these symptoms? If so, write yes in the comments, and I will suggest safer alternatives for you. 69-year-old retired nurse Lisa is one of the most striking examples of this. She had years of joint pain, dry skin patches on her elbows, and constant bloating. Even after giving up gluten and dairy products, the problems persisted. Finally, we tested her. She was found to be sensitive to sesame. She ate hummus with tahini almost every day. We eliminated sesame seeds from her diet and replaced them with avocado and walnuts. Within 2 weeks, her skin became smooth, her intestines calmed down, and her joint pain disappeared. She told us, "I feel 15 years younger." You should have seen the happiness in Lisa's eyes. That's why you should take good care of yourself. Cottonseed oil is second on the list. Most people aren't even aware they're consuming it. We don't sprinkle it on salads, but it's hidden in processed snacks, healthy dressings, and even low-calorie products. That's because cottonseed oil is one of the cheapest oils in the food industry. However, this oil contains a natural toxin called gossypol. This toxin can affect your heart within seconds. Consequently, gossypol disrupts the heart's electrical signals, inhibits calcium uptake in muscle cells, and weakens mitochondrial function. A 2016 study showed that cottonseed oil increases oxidative stress and disrupts electrolyte balance. This increases the risk of muscle cramps and sudden fatigue in older adults. You don't want to put your heart rhythm at risk, do you? My 70-year-old client Jim made this mistake too. After his doctor warned him about his cholesterol, he started a low-fat diet. Whole grain crackers, granola, low-calorie sauces. But within a month, he came to me complaining of palpitations, muscle cramps, and constant fatigue. His EKG was borderline, but not bad enough to require medication. The reason? All these products contained cottonseed oil. He eliminated cottonseed oil from his life and switched to roasted chickpeas and extra virgin olive oil as snacks. Within just 2 weeks, her muscle cramps disappeared, and by the 3rd week, his palpitations had stopped. You should have seen the joy on his face when he said, "I feel alive again." Now check the labels in your kitchen. If you have cottonseed oil, my advice is to get rid of it immediately. Now let's talk about the most talked about dangerous seed, chia, the seed that everyone raves about as a superfood. Yes, you just learned about chia seeds as a beneficial seed, but there's a fact that no one tells you. When used incorrectly, chia can be deadly for the elderly. And that's not all. Chia seeds can absorb up to 12 times their weight in liquid when exposed to water. If your bowel movements are slow or your throat is dry, these small seeds can suddenly become a major hazard. Medical journals report dozens of cases involving elderly individuals who experienced esophageal blockages after consuming dry chia seeds. A report published in the Annals of Emergency Medicine describes a 74-year-old man who swallowed chia seeds with a glass of water. An hour later, his esophagus became completely blocked. The seeds were surgically removed. If you consume chia seeds, immediately review your preparation methods. The story of 78-year-old Risa is even more striking. Her daughter bought her a health powder containing chia. Risa added chia to her cornflakes and smoothies without soaking it. Within a week, she developed severe constipation and stomach pain, meaning she had no bowel movements for 5 days. When she arrived at the hospital, her stomach was swollen like a balloon. We immediately stopped the chia, gave her a mild laxative, and added soaked flaxseed. She only recovered on the 3rd day. Chia seeds are not harmful, but they can be risky if consumed incorrectly. Do not consume them dried or in powder form. Soak them in water for at least 30 minutes before eating. And do not start with more than 1 teaspoon. This is because the risk is very high for individuals over 60 with dry throats and slow bowel movements. Now write in the comments how you eat chia. Are you doing it correctly? Let's check. Now you know which seeds are silently harming you. Let's move on to 4 miraculous seeds that reduce inflammation and slow down aging. Black sesame seeds are 4th on the list. This may surprise you, especially after the foods we just mentioned. Yes, we're talking about sesame again, but this time it's not the white sesame or tahini you find in most grocery stores. What we're talking about here are unprocessed and unrefined black sesame seeds. My research on the benefits of black sesame seeds showed that they contain 6 times more antioxidants than white sesame seeds. The difference between black sesame seeds and white sesame seeds is incredible. Black sesame seeds are rich in powerful antioxidants that combat oxidative stress, the greatest enemy of aging, especially lignans. These substances are the unsung heroes that protect your blood vessels and brain cells, which weaken with age. Regular sesame seeds are usually sold with their shells removed and roasted in unhealthy oils. But black sesame seeds are different. They retain their mineral content and have been used in small medicinal doses in Eastern medicine for centuries. In fact, science confirms this. A 2021 study published in the Journal of Nutritional Biochemistry found that regular consumption of black sesame seeds improved both memory and blood pressure. Consider this. Individuals aged 65 to 78 took just 2 teaspoons of black sesame seeds daily for 60 days. And the results were remarkable. A 13% decrease in systolic blood pressure and a 22% increase in memory test scores. Here's the key point. It should be black sesame, not white. It should be consumed ground or at least soaked, not raw. And it should be consumed in moderation as part of a balanced diet. Have you ever tried black sesame? Write your comments and share this information with your loved ones. 3rd place, pumpkin seeds. Pumpkin seeds, or pepita, as they are known in Latin America, are one of the hidden treasures of senior nutrition. They may look small, but their impact is huge. Unfortunately, many people over the age of 60 overlook this miracle. So why is it so valuable? Because it is rich in zinc, it strengthens immune function, promotes rapid wound healing, and plays a critical role in muscle repair. It is a storehouse of magnesium, it regulates over 300 biological processes, including muscle contraction and relaxation. In addition, zinc deficiency is common in the elderly because stomach acid decreases, preventing minerals from being absorbed sufficiently. This manifests itself as muscle weakness, susceptibility to infections, and slow healing. Perhaps the fatigue you have blamed on old age for years is actually caused by a simple mineral deficiency. A study published in the European Journal of Clinical Nutrition in 2019 examined 76 people over the age of 65. Those who added just 30 grams of pumpkin seeds per day, 71%, reported improved sleep quality, 48% reported reduced leg cramps. Isn't that amazing? Using pumpkin seeds for sleep is one of the natural methods I recommend most. Magnesium deficiency in the elderly is one of the main causes of insomnia. Here, I would like to share the story of our patient Adin. Adin, 75 years old, came in complaining of restless leg syndrome and insomnia at night. He was low on magnesium and borderline deficient in zinc. He was taking calcium supplements and drinking plenty of water, but nothing was working. We recommended that he eat lightly roasted, unsalted pumpkin seeds. The cramps went away within 2 weeks. For the first time in years, he slept soundly for a whole month. His wife thanked us, saying, "Finally, I can sleep comfortably in my own bed." The joy in her eyes as she said this showed once again how valuable healthy sleep is. At that moment, I understood that healthy sleep is not just a luxury, but a way to start living again. So how should pumpkin seeds be consumed? Unsalted and lightly roasted pumpkin seeds are the healthiest option. You can also consume them raw. You should consume 1 handful, approximately 30 grams per day. Consuming more than this increases your calorie and fat intake. You can add them to salads at lunch or dinner for extra mineral support. You can consume a handful at night, especially for magnesium support before bedtime. If you're experiencing muscle loss, sleep disorders, or slow recovery, the solution may not be in pills, but in this little seed. A handful a day, no powder, no pills, just real food. Now I ask you, have you ever consumed pumpkin seeds regularly? What were the results? Write your comments. So who's next? Flaxseed. Flaxseed is the unsung hero of health. It doesn't have flashy advertisements, but its effects are incredible. It is a true heart health protector. The use of flaxseed for blood pressure has been proven in cardiology literature. Its most important feature is the plant-based omega-3 fatty acids it contains, namely alpha-linolenic acid. This oil reduces inflammation in the body. At the same time, flaxseed is the richest source of lignans, which maintain hormonal balance. In a 2018 study, the effects of flaxseed were examined in 110 people over the age of 70. Half were given muffins containing flaxseed every day, while the other half were given a placebo. After 6 months, the systolic blood pressure of those who consumed flaxseed decreased by 15 mmHg, and their diastolic blood pressure decreased by 7 mmHg. This is as effective as many blood pressure medications, and it has no side effects. I saw this in my patient Leo too. He was 65 years old and had been struggling with cholesterol and constipation for years. His daughter convinced him to start adding a teaspoon of ground flaxseed to his yogurt every morning. By the 3rd week, his bowels were working smoothly. After 3 months, his cholesterol dropped from 218 to 174, and his triglycerides decreased by 33%. But flaxseed has a secret: grind it fresh. If you eat it whole, you won't be able to digest and absorb it. Either grind it at home or buy it pre-ground, but be sure to store it in the refrigerator. Add it to smoothies, yogurt, or oatmeal. Just don't cook it because it loses its effectiveness at high temperatures. In which recipes do you use flaxseed? Share your thoughts in the comments. If you want more powerful, science-backed recommendations like this, stay tuned, because there are even more surprising foods coming up. And our final miraculous seed is the hemp seed. Hemp seed is like a capsule of life. Energy for those over 60. It contains no THC, meaning there are no mental effects. But it does contain the following. It has a perfect balance of omega-3 and omega-6, this reduces brain fog and lowers inflammation. It is essentially a natural pain reliever. It also contains gamma-linolenic acid, GLA, gives a rare and powerful component for hormonal balance, joint health, and metabolism. GLA is the silent enemy of joint pain, the key that unlocks the door to regaining freedom of movement. In a clinical study published in the Journal of Clinical Nutrition and Aging in 2022, adults aged 65 to 79 were given 30 grams of hemp seeds daily for 8 weeks. Results: 36% decrease in CRP inflammation markers, 19% increase in HDL, good cholesterol, improved grip strength in 72% of participants. The effects are truly incredible. At the same time, using hemp seeds for joint pain has worked wonders in my clinic. Thanks to adding 3 tablespoons of hemp seeds to their smoothie every morning and taking light walks, my patients began walking pain-free again. The advantages of hemp seeds are as follows. No need to grind or soak. Even elderly people with dental problems can consume them easily. No side effects. Does not strain the intestines. If you're dealing with joint pain, brain fog, or fatigue, 3 tablespoons of hemp seeds a day can work wonders. Now I want to hear from you. What issues are you experiencing? Joint pain? Low energy? Sleep problems? Share in the comments. Share this information with your loved ones, because after 60, health is not a luxury. It's the foundation of life. Which seeds will you try? Be sure to write about the changes you experience in the comments. I'm eagerly waiting to hear from you. If you found these tips helpful, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel, because there are many more tips coming up that will change your health. Thank you for watching.